Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and American Carnage, issue number 1. All right, we all make a little mistake here and there in life, right? And my particular mistake in this instance was thinking that I got too many comic books this week. I'm just going to go digital on certain ones. Case in point, American Carnage. Damn, I kind of wish I would have bought the physical copy. Anyway, this is a solid issue, man. This is really good. Snowflakes beware. Yeah. Let's get into who made this book, and then we'll start talking about this fantastic book, all right? So, American Carnage, this issue is called Freedom. Brian Edward Hill of the Hill Administration, Illuminati, and all those crazy things that he writes on Twitter. He did the story. The art is done by Leandro Fernandez. The color is Dean White. Lettering, Pat Brousseau. Cover, Ben Oliver. The variant cover, Raphael Albuquerque and Rico Renzi. American Carnage is created by Brian Hill and Leandro Fernandez. Mike Doyle, executive producer for DC Vertigo. Okay, so there's this cat named Win, and he is half black, half white, but he looks mostly white. And, okay, so he's, I don't know, would you call it down in your luck? He's a former cop who accidentally shot a kid, a black kid, who's reaching for his phone. Happens. But at the same time, yeah, sorry, guy. In the military, we would be punished for that. There is no looking the other way. There is no covering it up. There is no leaving this stuff out of the reports, at least not that I've ever seen. All right? It can be covered up on the highest plateau, but soldiers are more likely to be punished than police are. So, yeah, this guy, he wanted to get in. Actually, I think he was FBI, but whatever he was, he did a bad thing. He was nervous. He was jumpy, and he didn't understand that it's about being brave and not, reacting to the stimuli around you. And it's a shame. One little mistake like that, you just ended a boy's life. You just ended someone's future. Wow. Wow. I would genuinely hate to have ever been in that kind of a situation where I made a mistake like that. I made a mistake not buying a comic book. You know what I'm saying? And just buying a digital copy instead. This ain't nothing like that. So, anyway, he's living with his crime, his unprosecuted crime. But this female FBI agent, she wound up coming across a seriously racist situation where this racist white nationalist group, family, guy, girl, and their child. They're apparently responsible for murdering and lynching her partner. Her partner, mind you, who was white. So that's interesting. Now, she's trying to get to the bottom of this. Unfortunately, she was injured, so there's only but so much she can do. More than that, the department heads are putting a close on part of her investigation. So that kind of sounds just a little bit like to me. Oh, you can do an investigation, but it's got to be limited in scope and time. Wow. That's what it sounds like to me. Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh, anyone? So, why the artificial clampings? It just, but you know what? That's the thing. That's what money buys you. That's what money buys you. And if anybody disagrees, OJ, suddenly we're in agreement, right? Money buys you immunity to prosecution, I should say, not to persecution. What do you call it? To prosecution. It's stumbling of words. See, there's a mistake, but nobody died. All right, nobody was murdered. I didn't end someone's future and wreck someone's family that way. Anyway, this is a big deal, man. And unfortunately, cable news just kind of brushes over stuff like this. Just it's painful, but. Comic books like this, man. We are fortunate to be comic book readers. Big shame for Bill Maher. Maybe he'd have a much better show if he actually did read some comic books, or at least the right comic books. I could recommend this one. Maybe somebody should send him this comic book. That's real talk. I'm not exaggerating. So he's threatened that he has to go and investigate this. He's a private eye now. He's like, yeah, give me some money and I'll go and I'll investigate this situation. Because it turns out this rich guy who is a podcaster, and he's basically a personality. He writes books. It's kind of like an Ann Coulter type personality. His Adam's apple probably isn't as big. I went there. Bite me. What do you call it? So she he goes around and he basically says things that a lot of people, it's basically like dog whistling, all right? And if anybody's not familiar with what that term means in popular culture, a dog whistle is something that only certain people can hear. Okay, so when you've got, I can't remember his name right now, but I know his name, the guy in who actually became the freaking governor of or whatever, I think he became the governor or the senator, whatever the hell he became, this jackass, this racist piece of dog crap jackass, who became somebody in charge of Florida. He had a black opponent, and he goes and says, yeah, the voters just have to make sure that we don't monkey this up. Yeah, see, that's dog whistling. Unfortunately, that's really bad dog whistling. This is open dog whistling. This is something where he can easily say, I didn't mean it like that. Monkeying it up is an actual idiom. What are you talking about? Just because the guy's black. Why would you think something like that? Now, all of a sudden, dog whistling turns into gaslighting, right? But people who are intelligent and actually have their heads in the right place understand what exactly this is. And it's only people with their heads shoved firmly up their ass who don't understand what, or who lie to themselves and other people, especially, about what these things mean. We know what these things mean. We know what these things mean. This is one of the reasons why I love comic books. This is one of the reasons why I love comic books like this. This is one of the reasons why I love this comic book. It opens up the discussion floor for things like this. You can't take it. Heat, kitchen. Yeah, there's another idiom for you, bud. The idea here, this is a really good, solid comic book that, again, I wish I would have bought because it opens up these discussions. There's a, I'm gonna make this forecast. I'm pretty sure this guy is gonna wind up becoming the president, or at least somebody who's really, really high up in the fields, because his daughter, this gorgeous blonde girl who just seems so wonderful and perfect, isn't. This is just, I think we're gonna see more members of this family, extended and not, who are just really terrible people and really good at hiding their crimes and getting you deep, and, you know, collusion, even though there's no collusion. Dude, just, it is what it is. It is what it is. And just for the sake of conversation, a little bit, in case you're new to my channel, this is the first or one of the first videos you're ever seeing of mine, I'm not a liberal. Liberals are morons. I'm not a conservative. Conservatives are morons. I said it. There, take it. I'm more of the opinion that we have to be free, independent thinkers. If you happen to vote liberal, that's one thing. But to say I'm liberal, to say I'm conservative, means that you're just washing your hands of free thought and saying that's my party and I'm always going to stick to my party. That's painful, and that's cult-like mentality. And it's something that I'm actually careful to avoid, which is the reason why I don't have any problem saying negative things sometimes, not about people necessarily, or directed at individuals, but in the general landscape, because I don't ever want to become a cult of personality in that regards, much like how many of our recent presidents have been cult of personalities. I mean, it's painful. It's genuinely painful. I think Jimmy Carter was the last president in the United States, at least, that we've had who wasn't like that. And here in Canada, where I'm living now, there's a lot of cults of personality out there, and people, you got to be careful of the people who are really charismatic. You got to be really wary of the people who are really good at talking and all, because these are the people who they're like snakes. They'll whisper in your ear and stick their words deep into your mind like suggestions, and suddenly you start to question, was this even my own thought, or was it that person's thought? It's my thought now. You got to purge yourself of that nonsense sometimes, and it's easier to, you know, here's another idiom for you. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? Pay attention to your surroundings. Pay attention to the people you listen to. Pay attention to these cults of personality, because most of the time, they're terrible people. That being said, I love that this comic book made this a topic, a discussion, and yeah, what the hell else is literature for? And that's going to be it for me, guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Oh, fine, I'll say it. Hill for president. Class dismissed.